A new German study claims parenting can have a significant negative impact on your happiness. Some believe that it feels worse than divorce, unemployment, or the death of a partner. Helen Fisher is a biological anthropologist and senior research fellow at the Kinsey Institute. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
I was so surprised by this because, and we're not talking about postpartum, we should make that very clear. Most people, you're excited, you're having the baby shower, you're picking out the clothes, you're picking out the names, but it can also cause unhappiness.
Right. As a matter of fact, they say that the amount of happiness, unhappiness is even more than when you've been divorced, when you're divorcing, when you are losing a job, and when a parent, when your partner dies. So,
why is that, Helen?
You know, there's many reasons for this, but I think the most important one, I mean, I study the brain, and the most important thing is the social isolation. People simply assume that when you are getting a divorce, they'll pile in to help you. They pile in to help you when you've lost your job. They really pile in when you've lost your partner, but they don't pile in when you've had a child. They figure you're really happy. Your mother might come for 6 weeks and take care of the newborn, but then she's gone. You've get some presents and that from various friends, and then they just leave you alone because they figure you're too tired and too busy. And, you know, I mean, for millions of years, we lived in these little hunting and gathering bands, and that child was passed from person to person to person over and over again, giving the mother enough time to get enough sleep, to talk with her friends, etc. It's not natural, really, to raise a baby all by yourself in a home alone.
So the reason for the unhappiness is the time demands it makes on the mother?
There's many reasons. Certainly exhaustion, certainly sleep deprivation, certainly the depression. And another thing also is apparently very often your relationship with your primary partner becomes more and more difficult. And we live in a society now where we're turning inwards. That primary relationship is the most important thing that we have. We used to live in large communities, and our allegiance was to God and to community and larger family. Now it's to one person. And when that system begins to break down with the exhaustion, etc., then you're losing almost everything.
So I think this is because you're a biological anthropologist, and you say we've become less family-centric, and that plays a part. How do we reverse that?
Yeah. Well, what we're really missing is local community. And we can regain local community, even if our mother lives in Minnesota and our best girlfriends are in other parts of the country.
But isn't the counter-argument, we're more connected because of our devices. We actually are more connected to our friends.
But it's in isolation. You're doing it at home by yourself. You're not doing it in a big group. There's no local community. I mean, I jog in Central Park in the mornings, and I see these groups of mothers with their little baby carriages with tiny babies in it, and they're building that local community that the human animal needs. But they will all go home alone. They will all spend the rest of the day pretty much by themselves. They're also concerned about work. These days, many women are working, and they're just scared that they might lose some of the impetus at the office, et cetera, et cetera. There's a great deal of struggle.
So the most important lesson here is to find a community and create a community.
Absolutely, and we would do that naturally.
Share.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Really interesting.
I thought so too.
Yeah. Build your community.
Yeah,
Think how we have a community here at the table.
I didn't understand the study, Helen, and then you start talking to people, and more people are saying, well, yeah, I wasn't exactly happy when I had the first baby.
As a matter of fact, there's a taboo against it. You know, you know that somebody's depressed when they're getting a divorce or losing their job or losing a partner, but we assume that they're happy, and they don't dare. And that's what's really unusual about this study, because people don't even do the studies to find out, because we're so engrossed in the feeling that this is just perfect bliss.
Thank you.
Thank you, Helen Fisher.
Thank you.